Have you ever wondered why a man's self-esteem is often directly proportional to the number of hair strands on his head? Well, it seems that the story of male hair is as old as humankind itself. Let's wind the clock back a few thousand years to the cavemen era. Back then, a full head of hair was a sign of health and virility. No hair gel, no problem. A good old smear of mammoth fat and voila, you have your first hair product. Then came the ancient Egyptians. Pharaohs and noblemen would shave their heads bald and wear elaborate wigs instead. Talk about setting unrealistic hair expectations. Fast forward to the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar, despite the receding hairline, decided to don a laurel wreath to cover his bald spot. A move so genius it became a fashion statement, and suddenly, balding men all over Rome were accessorizing with plant life. The Middle Ages brought about a love for long hair. Kings and knights flaunted their long locks as a symbol of nobility and courage. But then the bubonic plague hit, and long hair became associated with poor hygiene. Suddenly, bald was back in vogue. The Renaissance saw men adorning their heads with a peculiar hairstyle, the bowl cut. Yes, the very same hairstyle that you got from your mother's kitchen scissors. In their defense, it was the 1400s. They didn't have access to a decent barber. Then, in the 18th century, powdered wigs or perukes became a rage among the European elite. These wigs were so important that men would rather cut off their natural hair than risk damaging their expensive wigs. Talk about being hair-obsessed. Fast forward to the 20th century, where men's hairstyles went through a whirlwind of changes. From the slicked-back look of the 1920s, the Elvis-inspired pompadour of the 1950s, to the Beatles mop top of the 1960s, each era had its own iconic hairstyle. The 1980s gave us the mullet, business in the front, party in the back. An interesting choice indeed. Then came the 1990s, and with it the infamous man bun, a hairstyle that has, against all odds, managed to stick around. And let's not forget the 2000s, when men decided to embrace their natural hair texture. Afros, dreadlocks and curls became popular, proving that men's hairstyles are as diverse as they are unpredictable. In conclusion, whether it's a caveman's greasy mane, a pharaoh's elaborate wig, Caesar's plant crown, a knight's long locks, a Renaissance bowl cut, an 18th century peruke, a slick 20s look, a 50s pompadour, a 60s mop top, an 80s mullet, a 90s man bun, or a 2000s afro, each hairstyle tells a unique story about its era. So is it a matter of fashion trends or laziness? Well, one thing's for sure, whether it's a full head of hair, a bald head, or something in between, every man's hair journey is a hilarious, unique, and sometimes questionable adventure in self-expression. And remember, gentlemen, regardless of your hairstyle, the most important thing is to wear it with confidence. After all, it's not the hair that makes the man, but the man that makes the hair.